Willow is worried. I don't know, I just like the way that sounded. But she is worried. She is worried about this. That's a good girl that we're working on. She's worried about that. She's worried about this. Good, you see? Yes, we're working on that. She's really worried about that. That's my girl. See, when I can hang out with them and I start to get them with the pack, living with them, you start to notice these things. You start to notice what it is exactly about them that makes them feel off. And for her, if I go to pet her anywhere where she can't see the hand, nervous, whiny, worried about it. And I said, well, geez, that ain't normal. So I had Julie do some petting too. Everything seemed fine until the hand lands in certain places where she can't see the hand, which is, you know, it's not common with dogs, but it's common for dogs like this, where as soon as they can't see the hand, they start to worry about it. Which I've done enough exercises in the past few minutes here that I'm trying to tell her once she's on shore, if she looks at me like that, good, and relaxes, good. So the game is like, watch, I'm gonna make you on shore, and then if you trust me, nothing bad's gonna happen, and I'm gonna say, good girl. And so that's the game. But the thing is I think this is where all of the issues come from that stem in the kennel, because she's got some problems in the kennel. She's got some problems in the kennel to the point where she's with you, she's hanging out with you, she just did the social, you put her in her kennel, you close the door, right? It's like, whoa, what the hell is that? And then I have to examine that. It's only in the kennel. I go to open the kennel, snarl, okay? Julie, you come try to open the kennel. Okay, she doesn't feel good with you either. Let's have a dog go near her kennel. Okay, she's growling and snarling at the dogs too. Take her out of the kennel, not happening, right? So we get a chance to really look at what's going on up here. And this is related to it. This is related to it. That's good. That's a good girl. See, that's nice. There's a little more trust there. This is a good sign because I just started this stuff with her and she's getting better quickly with it, but there's a lot to go through, right? There's a lot to go through. And so I wonder, you know, just how much she would allow a human to do before training. How much would she be able to be groomed or brushed out or something? And if it's only with certain people, and maybe this is a stranger thing, and it's like, I don't know you and it takes me a long time to trust somebody. I don't just trust somebody right when I see them like some dogs do. I take a while to trust somebody. That could be the case too. And that would be the better case because that means she's not this way with her owners, which is perfect. And which means that it's totally appropriate for her to be that way with me because I'm a stranger and I need to show her I'm not going to harm her. That's fine. But if she's this way with the owners, we got a problem, right? So I don't know. I'd have to ask them.
It might explain why the dog walker saw the kennel problems, but not the owners.
Yes, and if that's the case, it's less concerning to me. You know, it's still concerning, and we're going to deal with it. But it's less concerning that if she was that way with everybody, including her owners. So if there's, and maybe even she is that way with them, but she's a little more tolerant, but still less than the average dog, which would put her in the category of a biting dog, which she is. A risk. And here's why she's a risk. She has not bit me, but she expressed, so if you think it as a gun, she didn't shoot me, but she cocked it, pointing at my face and threatened me, right? And then what I did as she was doing this is I walked up to put my forehead on the gun and I said, go for it. And then there was a silence. And then the gun went away because she was bluffing. But she thinks about it. There's a good dog here, but there's something messed up about the way she's thinking. Unless there's something medical I don't know about, which I don't think there is because we get our dogs medically cleared before they come here. It's the same thing as, let's say, Eli was struggling with. Like, oh, I can't see it, and it's touching me, worry. You see the worry, good girl. This is her trusting me. This is only because she got to know me the past few days. I would have never got away with this on day one. Good girl. Thank you. And this is the game that I made with her. I'm gonna go over here and touch you. Trust me. Don't worry about your first instinct, which is gonna be bringing your mouth back there. Just look at me. You're gonna notice nothing's happening. I say good girl and then I pet you. So I'm teaching her, I'm giving her coping skills for when she feels uncomfortable, what to do, and I'm proving to her that it works before I actually get to anything that's actually uncomfortable, okay? But we see how this is a problem with a pet dog, because you can't pet it, right?
She did snap at a toddler.
Yes, she snapped at a toddler, but I'm thinking that she might have 2 people in her life, 1 or 2 people in her life that maybe she gives access to this to. And if that's the case, that's really good. If she doesn't have anybody she gives access to this to, then it's just more work, but it's still something we can overcome. It's just gonna take me being the first to do it, you know? And I'm gonna ask from her eventually. See, these things are like broken down. Just like with the nails with Eli, we have to break it down and get to the actual doing of the nails through smaller conversations. Like watch, ready? That's way better than a few days ago. Good girl. Very nice. That's very nice. Okay? So, we're going to be focusing on this, but I'm also going to just be living with her, because living with her allows me to catch all these little things that I won't see in a training session. Dogs know when they're being trained, all right? They're not dumb. They know you're doing a training session, so they put on their good behaviors, and they'll allow for like some, okay, I guess I'll do it. But as soon as the training session's over, you know, then they're more likely to show the behaviors that you want to see in a training session. So with a dog like this, in order to catch these moments with her that I need to talk to her and I need to explain things to her, the way the world works, whatever she's struggling with, I need to live with her, and I need to be literally like eating my breakfast and see the problem, drop everything I'm doing and going over to it. So that's what we're going to be doing, and that's what we're doing today. She's going to be hanging out with me while I do sessions with other dogs. And she's gonna be hanging out with me in between sessions with dogs. And so when I have to go out and deal with contractors, I'm gonna bring her with me as well. And just this gives me more chances to talk to her and show her how a human can disagree with something and what you're supposed to do and all these things that she really needs to understand. Once she gets it, she'll get it. But it's gonna be quite a job to have her get it. You know? Good girl.